welcome to Geek News 48. We're joined by Mike McGee from Mike McGee TV. We've got Max Andrews, and we've got Dan Barr, even though Dan's not showing up. There's Dan. And myself, Philip Ford. So we're going to talk a little bit about tonight. We got some news, Netflix Marvel news. That'll be the majority of the show, and then a few other news stories. But you know what? I think we should kick it off with the topic. Our topic. I think it's interesting. I think it could be fun.
What's up?
Nope. Sorry. There we go. I was hearing an echo. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Anyway.
I was like, did my computer freeze?
But and then so it's what comic book characters would you like to see turned into a movie? Off the bat, what I really would like to see is I'd like to see, but I don't know if this will ever happen. Is a Martian Manhunter movie. I think it's
terrible.
Wow, I want to hear why Max says it's so terrible. I think it would be interesting, but go ahead, Max. Why is it terrible? Go.
Oh no, this Martian Manhunter sucks because he's so powerful. They had to make his weakness like a caveman can beat the Martian Manhunter because his weakness is fire. So it's like, on the Martian Manhunter, I can read your mind and I can phase through, all this material and all this good stuff. I can change forms into a dragon and whatnot. And a little fire kills me. So, I hate the Martian Manhunter is all because they never get to use him. Because it's always like, I got something, anybody with a Zippo is going to beat the Martian Manhunter.
I love it. So I guess
at least it's not Green Lantern and wood, guys. I mean, freaking, that kind of Amish furniture store kills the Green Lantern.
I did not know about that. That's hilarious.
Just paint that shit in yellow, and there it kills 2 Green Lanterns.
Yeah, so I always thought it would be interesting just because of the depth of his character, but I didn't know about that flaw. That's actually kind of funny. And then the other ones, I just kind of would like them to see to actually do the Punisher correctly, though I might just let Netflix handle that because I think they might be able to do it better than a traditional movie. And then I would love to see Blade come back in some form or another. How about you, Max, since you're so opposed to Martian Manhunter?
Somebody who I feel like they never gets justice. He hasn't had hardly anything. Batman. I would love to see a good Batman movie.
Oh my God!
I would just they never make a Batman movie. You know what I'm saying? Or not enough.
Really, they haven't made a good one since 1988. I mean,
I disagree with that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say Batman. Who I'd like to see? Obviously, I want to see Iron Fist. I want to see an Iron Fist movie. I want to see a crazy Kung Fu Iron Fist movie. Who else? I'd like to see a Colossus movie. I know he's not I want to see a Colossus Nightcrawler buddy cop duo movie. That would be really cool. Who else?
If you want to think a little bit, I can hop over to Mike and let you.
Yeah, the Blade would be cool. I heard Wesley Snipes is crying, hoping that they'll take him back for a Blade movie. So I don't know. That'd be cool too, as long as they got back to their roots. I'd like to see another of the first Blade movies, not any of the other ones. But yeah, man. I say do them all. Make everybody a comic book. And make everybody in the comic books into a movie, and then we'll just see how it shakes out. Actually, you know what? I would like to see more cosmic stuff, like more Nova, Silver Surfer. I mean, if they hadn't killed Ronan the Accuser in the last Guardians movie, he was actually one of my favorite galactic characters. But I'd like to see some more of that space stuff. It'd be really cool.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely think that you're right on the right track there, because the galactic stuff I think they might actually explore, but we'll have to wait and see. And Mike, what are your thoughts, sir?
Well, they're pretty much doing a bunch of properties that I've always wanted to see on the big screen already, so it's kind of hard. I'm trying to think. I want to actually see an adaptation of Bone from the mid-'90s, Jeff Smith's cartoon book, Bone. There was talk about it becoming an animated feature or becoming kind of like the animated version of Lord of the Rings because it's such an expansive like fantasy epic in a way, but they never got around to it. They did the Telltale games, which I thought were pretty enjoyable, I guess, for what they were, but I would love to see an actual animated feature of it because that lends itself really well to animation. The character designs are really expressive, and it's a fun story, actually, and the characters are really well-rounded. With regards to, I don't know, I think it'd be kind of cool to see, with the DC universe building up, what the Zack Snydery dark interpretation of Mr. Mxyzptlk would be like. He's
No
this.
idea.
For those of you who don't know who Mr. Mxyzptlk is, he's this imp from the fifth dimension that arrives on our realm of existence every 3 months or 90 days or something like that. I don't know, to torment Superman. But it's usually just like pranks and stuff like that, and Superman has to convince him to leave by making him say his name backwards. But I wonder what the dark DC cinematic universe interpretation would be like. Are his pranks like he turns people inside out and things like that, or is he like an imp from the fifth dimension who's also a pedophile? You know, I just don't know what kind of weird, twisted shit they could do to Mr. Mxyzptlk.
You actually saw one of his pranks in the Man of Steel movie when he made most of the people in Metropolis disappear.
That's for the sequel. Superman finds out they've all been living happily over there without buildings falling on them because there's no gravity.
Stop crying.
Well, yeah, that definitely sounds interesting to see kind of where they would go with that. We'd have to see. But yeah, I agree with you, Mike. Like a couple of the movies, like I started thinking about it. They're already making it, like Deadpool. I absolutely have wanted to see for forever, and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is going to be good. I'm just happy that they're taking a chance on these rated R movies. Like, yeah, most of the stuff is for kids. I get it. You know, I understand that I'm a 32-year-old going on 7. But, like, you know, it's good every now and again. Like, Deadpool, they're coming out rated R. Daredevil, that was not for children. And I loved it. So, I mean, like, obviously they can make good things and it can still be for adults. I'm happy that we're seeing that coming along.
Nice. And Dan, so what are a couple comic book characters you'd like to see?
I actually can't wait for the Iron Fist series to come out. He's one of my favorites. I really want to see them kind of push for like a Heroes for Hire kind of thing, because I always liked, you know, Fist and Luke Cage together. They shouldn't go together, but they do. And I will boost up your Blade and say I want to see Peter Jackson come in and direct a Tomb of Dracula like epic, but not Wesley Snipes Blade, old jive talking 70s Tomb of Dracula Blade. That's what I want.
Idris Elba for Blade.
I'd be down for that. Idris Elba for anything. Idris Elba for, I don't know, Prince William in the movie. I don't care, man. Put Idris Elba in everything.
And lastly, I would like to see a good Punisher. Because Warzone was like the closest you'd get, kind of, because they brought in Jigsaw, I guess. but I'd really like to see a good one.
I mean, Warzone was almost there, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, except
almost there.
I mean, the whole mixer thing was kind of cool, but I wanted to see, you know, the Punisher just grab the dude and like smash him through a window bad enough that his face got all shredded, because that's his whole backstory.
That would have been much better.
But whatever.
And I mean, like that would have been more cost effective too. I mean, just think, how much did it cost to do the grinding effect versus here? You just bash his face through this window like 7 times, and then you leave him for dead.
But I mean, I like to see that get through like the ratings board. I mean,
it was already rated R.
Well, yeah, but you know,
what are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Rated R.
Maybe it's because
you might as well bash that dude's head.
It seemed a lot more graphic than I guess it would be, but whatever.
I mean, Okay, like I was at work, and a lady was looking over a game choice for her child. I thought that's responsible parenting. And then she said, "Yeah, I'm cool with violence as long as there's no nudity or nothing in it." And I'm just like, lady. But yeah, so I mean, you can bash that dude's head through the window 9 times as long as nobody shows their tits.
But what if I want that too?
Well, no, you can't get that. Then it's X-rated. This is America, sir.
I guess. We don't do X anymore. We just do non-rated, and every now and then you get an NC-17.
If it's a Punisher movie, I'd be proud to have an NC-17.
Oh yeah, and have like gore flying all over. Oh look, there's some dude's brain, but it's not going to happen. Instead, you get Thomas Jane and John Travolta in a kind of, it doesn't really have to be a Punisher movie, but let's just name it that anyway and throw Marvel in there.
Ugh, we're not going to talk about that.
Come on, Max. Why don't you want to talk about it?
No, the fucking Punisher movie was terrible. Everybody knows the fucking Punisher movie was terrible. We don't need to talk about how fucking terrible that fucking movie was.
But sir, you forget we all need a Max rant. You've got to feed the addiction. You've created.
Okay.
Whoa. Hold on. We got cast for Gotham coming up. I'm sure that'll get a rant from at least 2 of us. And I'm holding something in, but just carry on.
All right, no. The Punisher movie is terrible. Don't watch the John Travolta, Thomas Jane Punisher movie. Even though I'd like to see Thomas Jane as the Punisher, I think he could have done a good job. But he script studio cut his balls off, and because if anyone's seen the Laundry Day short on YouTube, watch that. That is the Punisher. Like that 5-minute short is better than the entire. All of the Punisher movies ever put out. Oh, no, not Dolph Lundgren. Dolph Lundgren. Punisher. That's classic. But everyone past that, this 5-minute short is better than. I'd say instead of wasting an hour and a half of your life, just watch Laundry Day. And,
I agree. Yeah, it's like either give him the Punisher role again so he can do something fun with it, or well, I guess he can't now because of Barenthal. But give him another tough Marvel character in this universe. Kraven the Hunter, dude. He could be an awesome Kraven the Hunter. He could be scary. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't watch the fucking Punisher movie. Punisher Warzone was okay, but then it just takes this crazy left turn. And so it started out like they had the right idea. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, and how hard is it to make a friggin' Punisher movie? You get a dude, you give him a friggin' awesome suit with a skull on it. You give him a shitload of guns, and you just have him go shoot bad guys. And he's got a black
run around town.
And maybe some fat dude that like gives him stuff. That's all you need.
Blow stuff up. Just blow stuff up. I mean, Michael Bay should have been all over this. Like this is right in his wheelhouse.
This is what I was born for.
For real though, is there any other director you'd want to see in charge of the Punisher movie? No. I was like, oh look, give Michael Bay an R rating, and he is the man for the job. And this is the only time I'll say this. Because you don't need a bunch of dialogue. You don't need a bunch of acting. You just explosions. That's it.
I mean, you need a guy to walk up every now and then, grab a bad guy, and say, "Who's your boss?" and then shoot him.
Yeah.
And next scene.
The movie.
Of course, knowing Michael Bay, Microchip would then turn out to be your stereotypical fat black guy played by Anthony Anderson who farts a lot. And says,
No.
"Oh, hell no!"
No, Michael Bay, it would be Megan Fox. Every other character that's not the Punisher would be Megan Fox.
Jigsaw's Megan Fox.
Yep.
Oh my. That alone might actually be funny to watch, but I don't know if I'd want to actually pay a lot of money to see that.
No.
But yeah, anyways. Yeah, so that was definitely interesting. We'll have to see what happens, kind of. I mean, I know they're going to explore the DC universe more, and eventually I think Blade will make a comeback. It just we'll have to see whether or not it's with Wesley Snipes and whether or not it's what I will call Dan's soap opera desire.
Also,
Jive Talking Blade.
cool.
Jive Talking Blade.
Has anyone ever read Secret Six?
No, I'm not.
No. That's a good one. I enjoy that. That's another like villain, sort of like a Suicide Squad kind of deal, but it's really good. Written by Gail Simone. Check it out.
All right. Yeah. So I saw a thing on another YouTube channel where they were talking about other movies that hadn't been made, and one of them mentioned. I kind of like to hear everyone's opinion on this one. Was Teen Titans. I don't know if I'd want to see that on the live screen just because I don't know how the adaptation would work. Max, you look excited. You came right to the camera.
That would be cool. I would like to. I mean, like, of course, you can't have if Fox owned it or if Sony owned it. No, you're not allowed to do that. This is like the Teen Titans movie would be like Joss Whedon's dream job. You know, I don't know who else is made for the same way Michael Bay was made for Punisher. Joss Whedon was made to do the Teen Titans movie. That would be pretty cool. You know, as long as again, we're not having an X-Men situation or like an amazing or no, any Spider-Man situation really.
Mike?
I think it'd be cool to have that type of film out there. I mean, it's problematic just because you want to use like the core group of Titans. Like, you don't want it to be like that Generation X TV pilot they did back in the mid-90s where it had little to nothing to do with X-Men or the X-Men universe, and it's just a name only. Like, you don't want a bunch of second-stringer Titans in the mix without having your Nightwing or your Cyborg or your, I guess, Beast Boy or Starfire or whatever. So they'd have to be established probably before, which the way Batman vs. Superman is setting up, at least the Robin identity looks like it's going to be established in some way. So maybe there is a Dick Grayson out there ready to form the Titans. Who knows? That might be in the works eventually.
Interesting. Dan?
I could see it being good, but the problem is it would turn into like a CW soap opera, highly abridged.
That's what okay.
And that's why I would say no.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man's gonna be John Hughes-ish, so I mean, they're gonna be tough. They gotta touch upon different demographics, teens, adults. I don't know.
I think it'd be cool just because like a Teen Titans movie would be kind of like you get or maybe who's the dude who was supposed to do Ant-Man but then quit?
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
Yeah, Edgar Wright. I mean, like you get someone kind of weird or kind of like off to do the movie, and it could be its own different thing, and it could have like a wholly different feel. Like this is DC, so like they're super dark. This could be like the brighter, kind of funnier kind of deal, your Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing, and also they're making a Cyborg movie. Like they could bring this all in as part of it. Like I think it would be good if they handle it correctly. It could be very, very good. But even like with the way things are going, it would make business sense to have it done. But more likely than not, they would just fuck it up.
I like your optimism there, Max. I appreciate it.
Cautious as ever.
It's shown brightly for like 10 seconds and then down again.
Oh, nice. All right. So on that, we're going to start to slide into the news, and we do have some breaking news that is interesting. I'm surprised he wants this role, but I guess Chris Pine is signed on as Steve Trevor in the Wonder Woman movie. That's the only thing he's confirmed for right now, which is kind of crazy that they would sign him this early. They have to be somewhere else because that Wonder Woman's like mid-2017 is when they're expecting the release. So, I mean, I guess maybe they could start shooting recently, but I'm indifferent to this. I mean, okay. I don't know if I care. Dan, your thoughts, opinions?
2017, I'll care about it in about a year and a half.
No, sir, no. You forget. DC will make you care very soon when the minute it starts shooting.
No, they won't. We've run this gambit already. I'll care maybe 6 months before the movie comes out. No sooner.
I like that you're sticking to your guns, Dan. Mike?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm underwhelmed by this news. Honestly, this makes me read like Chris Pine should have just held out for Hal Jordan a little bit longer, but whatever. I'm looking forward to the first photo of sad Steve Trevor amidst the rubble of Metropolis. I think that should just be a jumping off point. Everybody who's ever going to have a DC movie was in Metropolis during that time. So.
I love it. Max?
Well, I mean, every DC hero ever made showed up in Smallville, so I mean, this wouldn't even be a stretch by any means. No, you see, in response to what happened at Suicide Squad, Warner Brothers and DC are going full at it. Like, they just signed Chris Pine. They've already sent the camera crew to follow him 24/7, so you can go to their live feed. And you can get 24/7 access to everybody involved in the movie at all times until the movie is finished.
It's like that one Metallica album, you know, where you pay an ungodly subscription fee and you got to watch them work. Except this like follows everybody around.
Yeah, dude. Even like the key grips and whatnot.
I love it. But yeah, we'll have to see about that. I agree with you, Mike. I was hoping he would actually be Hal Jordan, but I guess no dice. All right.
Fuck Hal Jordan. I want to see a different Green Lantern.
Well, no, I think the rumor was you were going to see all three in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's like 5.
Or make him Guy Gardner. He'd make a good Guy Gardner, I think.
I want to see the Guy Gardner Green Lantern movie. Again, this would be just another crazy kind of zany thing you could do without, you know, being fully in it and fully serious, and you could get away with it. Like, it would just be a lot of fun.
I'm not watching the Lantern movie until you get the Red Cat.
Red Cat's cool, man. What about the little squirrel lantern?
Yeah.
Badge or Hadge or whatever his name is, yeah. Make Matt Damon Guy Gardner so that way Ben Affleck can punch him in the face.
No, dude. What's the giant world, the Green Lantern world planet thing? The sentient planet?
Oh.
Mogo?
Mogo.
Yeah, Mogo.
Mogo. Yeah, it's gonna be a Guy Gardner Mogo buddy cop movie.
It's gonna be the most boring movie.
Whatever, dude. Mogo's the whole planet. He just smashes himself into things.
He's just gonna float though for most of the movie until he smashes.
I don't care, man. You're gonna see a planet smash through another planet.
Max, you seem really on the buddy cop theme. I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah, you know, what can I say? I watched Lethal Weapon earlier, and yeah, here we are.
Nice. So let's see. Do we want to go terrible news or awesome news? I'll let the vote happen. Terrible?
Terrible.
All right, let's bring it on. So Drew Powell, his character Butch, if any of you remember this, is now a series regular. And you want to know what show that is, sir? That's Gotham. And for those of you that don't know, that haven't watched the show, he was Fish Mooney's right hand if you watched the beginning of it, and then you kind of dropped out like myself. And apparently now he works for the Penguin. So I have no opinion because I don't care. But I know the other 3 people absolutely have watched this show, so this will be fun. Let's see, who do I want to pick on first? Let's go Mike.
Yeah, because whoop-de-doo, that was my one complaint, was there wasn't enough Butch on the show. Whatever, man. Hopefully they give him something interesting to do, I guess. I don't know. They got Michael Chiklis on there. I'm more excited about that, because at least Michael Chiklis may add some more legitimacy to that series. I don't know. Yay, we got more Butch. That's what the fans demanded. Fans.
I love it. Yeah, Michael Chiklis, that could be interesting. I mean, he could either lead more seriousness to the show, or he could just go full on, like, over the top kind of Michael Chiklis. But either way, it'd be good. Max?
This is gonna. Oh my god, more Butch. Okay, you know, like Butch wasn't. You know, he wasn't anything. He was just like a guy in the fucking like. Oh god, I fucking hate this show. It's so bad. Like, I'm not gonna watch season 2. I've officially decided I'm not watching any season 2, and unless I hear that this TV show is getting nominated for an Oscar at the movies, unless I hear that it's so good that they have to nominate it for an Oscar, I'm not going to watch it because it just gets more and more ridiculous. Michael Chiklis is not a legitimate, like, he doesn't add any legitimacy to it. Like, legitimacy, bleh, to it. The Shield is not a very good show. He was not very good in it. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four. That when you say Michael Chiklis to me, I say Fantastic Four. So, Gotham, you suck. You always sucked. You will continue to suck. Fuck you. I mean, I almost want to cover this up talking about Gotham because I don't want people to know that the two are related.
Oh.
Terrible.
All right. So Max has said his piece. Let the world be known. Let the word be known. Dan?
I take offense with you, Max. The Shield was an awesome show. Michael Chiklis was awesome as Vic Mackey. And then Michael Chiklis' career went on a horrible downward spiral because he hit something known as the Fantastic Four. And now, I don't know what the hell he's doing because now he's on Gotham. and, I mean, he needs legitimacy. The show doesn't. The show won't get any after the first season unless somebody on the writing team just gets like a chicken that lays gold script. And it's just sitting there, he's just like shooting all the actors with it. But no, I want to see more Michael Chiklis, just not in anything like Gotham. And as far as Butch, I mean, he was relatively inoffensive in my list of Gotham's offenses. So
like, that's true. Butch is probably the person who pissed you off the least the entire show.
It was okay. I mean, he's just a fat mobster dude. It's cool, you know.
He gets tortured and comes out a little funny.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Did he get a lobotomy or something, or
something along those lines?
I don't remember.
I'm calling the twist ending at the end of the next season. Butch unzips himself. It's Fish Mooney in disguise the whole time.
Oh, God, there it is.
Joker.
Butch is the Joker, yeah.
Yeah, I'm more concerned with the kid being actually being Batman this season.
Oh, God, yeah, I heard about that, too.
I figure that'll just make me laugh and or cry. So that's
I'm not going to watch it.
Oh, I'll watch it, and then on the really bad episodes, I'm gonna like duct tape you to a chair and like bring my iPad. Now I'll make you watch it, sir.
Good luck with that. I will fight you tooth and nail.
This sounds like a Clockwork Orange's torture.
Yeah, I'll just give you eye drops and make you watch Gotham.
Yep. You may get me strapped to that chair, but it's going to be one hell of a fight. I guarantee you that.
I like it that you finally made a stand, Max. After you said the entire, I'm not going to watch it anymore. What are you doing? I watched Gotham.
I don't know, man. It's just because of the kernel. There's always like a kernel of goodness in every episode. It's like buried under this mountain of shit.
I'm like, who the hell's the Colonel? Oh, a Colonel. I'm like, Colonel Sanders? KFC tie-in with Gotham? Yeah, that's great.
Oh, you didn't see Colonel Sanders? Colonel Sanders was a crucial plot point in the middle of the series, dude.
He's the villain in the third episode. Come on.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
Screw it, you just get like fast food mascots as villains. The Burger King is like
the hamburger struck Gotham again.
Like stealing shit and leaving burgers.
Wait a minute, I think we need to stop now. We're actually writing gold. This could actually become popular.
Why not? Gotham already is.
The new mayor of Gotham, McCheese.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
Fish and chips Mooney.
What are we gonna do with all these orphan fry kids?
Oh, that was worth it. Oh my God, that was awesome. Whew. All right. So on to better Batman news. Mark Hamill has finally, or I guess it's been announced that Mark Hamill will voice the Joker in the animated version of Batman's The Killing Joke. I'm excited for that. I've always loved the way Mark Hamill has portrayed the Joker, and I think he'll do a wonderful job. Now they just need to, get the duo back together, Kevin Conroy. But we'll have to see if it happens. Let's see. Let's see if I can pick up Max's spirits. Come on, Max. I'll let you talk.
No, this is. I mean, if you're gonna do a Batman movie and the first two jobs aren't already offered to Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, you're doing something wrong. And that being said, the only thing, if you're not Mark Hamill, the only thing you can do if you're gonna try to get a job as the Joker is stay as far away from Mark Hamill's Joker as you can. Because if you try to imitate that, then it's over. You're not even getting a job. So the iconic, the one and only Mark Hamill. I mean, of course, I'm happy. I definitely would love to see Kevin Conroy back on as Batman, Bruce Wayne, just because nobody does it better. You just can't do better. I'm sorry. I've heard a few other guys, and I hate every one of them. So until Kevin Conroy kicks the bucket, that's who I want doing Batman. I mean, even in Batman Beyond, where he's just old Batman, he's still good. It's still so good.
Nice. Dan?
I pretty much have to agree with Max on this one. I mean, you get those two guys, and I mean, you pretty much got all of your vocal talent you really need for a Batman movie. My only thing is, I didn't like the Red Hood one just because the art wasn't as cool as the comic, which I know is a far cry, but I don't know.
Was that your concern for The Killing Joke as well?
Yeah, I mean, I love that story, so I don't know. I'll watch it, but I'll probably come back feeling nonplussed.
Yeah, I think even with the Dark Knight Returns, when they animated that, they did a really good job.
Oh yeah.
But I'd still rather read it than watch that. They didn't. They didn't knock it out of the park. It was good, but it wasn't like, holy crap, I don't need to read The Dark Knight Returns anymore. It didn't give me that. So I mean, I would say that's a legitimate fear to have, but also it's something is just not gonna. I mean, how could they do that? I don't know what they would have to do to make it so I didn't want to read the book anymore.
That's probably true. Mike?
Yeah, well, with regards to that, the idea of adaptation, too, is that, of course, I like the Dark Knight Returns movie, but you definitely lose a lot in the adaptation with regards to it, and, of course, you prefer the book over the movie, because the book was the first thing you read, it's the first thing you connected with that story, so, of course, it's going to take preference there. I'm excited about Hamill returning. I did a little homage video with my own Mark Hamill Joker voice on my site. And so check that out. But this is something that's been a long time coming, I feel, ever since the '92 Batman animated series. I had read The Killing Joke even then, and I was a young child, and that was a mind fuck to be sure. But ever since the series in '92 started, I found myself thinking yeah, this is my Batman and this is my Joker that I want. Should they ever adapt that story? And hopefully we can get that duo there, and hopefully it can be just as engrossing, just as captivating, and I love the dialogue in that book, so it's hopefully they stay true to the dialogue. Little fun fact, too, you know how Alan Moore is really picky about what he attaches his name to with regards to his adaptations and his properties and so forth? Apparently, the Justice League Unlimited episode based off of the Superman story he did in the 80s for The Man Who Has Everything. That's the only other media more property or more work that he has given a thumbs up to. That he's been solid job blokes. So hopefully he does it with Killing Joke too. Who knows? He and Bruce Timm seem to get along pretty cool. So
cool.
Yeah. All right, now I'm going to try not to spoil it, but I want to talk about now the ending of The Killing Joke. has been interpreted two ways. Mike, Dan, you guys know what I'm talking about? Philip, have you read The Killing Joke?
I have not.
No? Okay. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Earmuffs, Phil.
Go ahead.
So, do you think that they're going to leave it ambiguous like that? Like, is the top going to keep spinning? You know what I'm saying? Like, or what do you think they're going to do?
I can see them leaving it open-ended like that. I can see them what they do in the comic essentially just cut to the rain and leave it up to your imagination. Because that's one thing too that would either it would probably be a step down for me regardless of what they show with regards to the adaptation, because in that it kind of taints the story for me if you do have a solid this is what happens. No, leave it open-ended. If you're going to be a faithful adaptation, leave that ambiguous ending there.
I would agree. Being having its own movie, they're probably going to try to make an ending for it. But I would rather they left it open. I mean, I also wanted the cool space aliens at the end of Watchmen, and we didn't get that either. So yeah, I would hope that they would leave it, the way the comic, but probably not.
Yeah, Dan, gigantic tentacle monster is not gonna fly. Sorry.
But those panels were so awesome.
But ultimately, I think the big appeal for this project getting made is the fan base who wants to hear Mark Hamill in this story. Essentially, I think that's the big draw essentially for making this. Because you were talking about movies rated R. This is an R-rated Batman story.
Oh yeah.
But it's just the whole appeal of it is that you're going to hear your generation's Joker reciting these lines or going through this character arc. You may actually get to hear Joker as normal Joker, in the flashbacks and so forth. Which would be interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the comic itself isn't actually very long, so they're gonna have to kind of pad it. To get a feature out of it. So I do think that we'll get more the backstory. How he's just an everyday guy. He's a nice guy. Blah blah blah.
Oh, you know what a shame is that Bob Hastings, the guy who played Commissioner Gordon, is dead. He was the guy I really wanted to hear too, because Commissioner Gordon has a whole nice speech towards the end of the book, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna miss having Bob Hastings reading that.
Did you like it's the dude who plays Mike in Breaking Bad. He did the Commissioner Gordon voice in Arkham Knight. I thought it was okay.
I thought he was fine. He sounded very Cranston-y to me, so yeah, I thought it was okay.
I mean, there's other old dudes out there, so you do like that. That guy did have Commissioner Gordon down. You just want the freaking Batman cartoon back. Is all you really like. If I could just get infinity more years of that, I'd be happy.
Well, I mean, let's be serious. It's ever since we watched that cartoon, whenever we read a Batman comic now, those are the voices that are in our heads when we're reading the comics, when we're reading any Batman story. It's I take that over Bale voice any day.
I can't say I blame you there, Mike. That might sound a little odd coming out of your head.
But it's weird to me that nobody took cues from the dude who's been doing Batman voice for 20 years. Hey, maybe I should ask that guy what you should do with Batman's voice.
But he's not a real actor, Max. He's a voice actor. See, I mean, he's not on the same level as Christian Bale. I mean.
Oh, wow. Like it. Some less than exciting news. I didn't even know that actually this was happening. Tommy Lee Jones has joined Bourne 5. And what's interesting is Paul Greengrass and Matt Damon are both back. And the thought is he's going to be back as a high-ranking, or Tommy Lee Jones is going to be a high-ranking CIA official, essentially. Not really sure how this works, especially because they're basically pretending like the fourth one didn't happen. There's no crossover or any of that. It's just going to be a continuation of the third one. So, okay. I mean, I like him as an actor, but at this point, he's going to be up there by the time this movie actually shoots and goes. I don't know. We'll have to kind of see on that. Mike? No comment?
Yeah, he's okay. Just if anything, just make him his character from The Fugitive again.
That might be the easy way to go, actually. Just he'll be a little bit more older.
This man is a trained killer. We're gonna set up a perimeter around.
Nice. Yeah, that probably would be accurate. Dan?
Unless Tommy Lee Jones is doing like awesome action scenes, I'm not gonna watch this like I didn't watch the other ones. So it doesn't really bother me at all.
Nice. Max?
Yeah, I mean, like, Tommy Lee Jones, perfect. Like, you need some guy to play an old white guy. Tommy Lee Jones is it. I mean, No Country for Old Men. Anyone remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
That was a good Tommy Lee Jones movie. You play that guy in the Bourne movie, and here we go. We got another. It's more gold. I actually just watched another movie with him in it. With Hilary Swank. It's like a western. It's I can't remember what it's called right now. It's like a.
Crap! I forgot to.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I wish I could remember that. I'm gonna look on IMDb while I'm talking. Or I'll look it up and then.
The Missing, right?
Yeah, something like that.
There you go.
But yeah, no, that movie was really good, and Tommy Lee Jones was an old white guy. So, I mean, we're good. And I liked Philip. I really liked your line when you said the crossover. That was very funny.
Come on, man. You didn't appreciate that?
I did. I liked it. That's what I'm saying. And I just wanted to give you some props.
But, yeah, so I don't know. I'll have to wait and see on that if I even care, because the first three I actually thought were interesting, and then the fourth one was okay for what it was. I didn't understand why they had to bring them back other than, hey, let's get some more money. But moving on to the epic fun news that we've all been excited for to talk about. Netflix dropped a bunch of news, basically I think today and yesterday, at the Television Critics Association. So the first piece of news is that Jessica Jones is coming out this year. The rough estimate is October 2015, and this is because Netflix said they want a 6-month window between series. So what is everyone? Does that get people more excited? Does that people go expected? What are you all thinking? How about Max?
I love it right now. We'll see how I feel when Jessica Jones comes out. But no, like the only thing I'd be worried about is if they're trying to like do things too quickly and they're not making a good product anymore. I would rather honestly wait for something good than just crank out, more Gotham. So I'm happy and nervous at the same time. But if it's all good, if we get Daredevil quality stuff every 6 months, I don't see how you can complain about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, Dan?
My only comment is, where is my Iron Fist? that's all I want.
We'll talk about that.
It's coming out.
No, not the news thing. Just the whole, with the 6 months. That's all I want to know.
Coming out in 6 months.
I mean, we get a little bit with Luke Cage, but.
So yeah, I was gonna say I don't. Well, you might get a little bit with Luke Cage, especially with the talk of every 6 months. But we'll kind of have to see. I'll kind of go into what I kind of think might be happening.
I just
Mike?
fast forward to the ones I want. That's all.
I like it. I like it. You're a true fan, Dan. Mike?
I mean, it's very much paralleling what they're doing with the movies, which is taking your time with that, but also dropping hints. Like, I'm sure, yeah, there's going to be a Luke Cage. I think he might be a supporting character in the Jessica Jones stuff. Who knows? From there, we might get a Danny Rand name drop or something like that from there. Maybe even in Daredevil season 2. But that's fine. If you want to take 6 months to actually hone the program, down to what is essential and what is effective. Like Max said, don't Gotham it with unnecessary filler episodes and things like that, and multitude of characters. Just get it right and take the time to do it. Yeah, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
Also, don't Gotham it by having shitty writing and shitty directing and shitty acting. Don't Gotham it in those ways either.
I like that. I like it, Max. You covered all the bases. You're good now. But yeah, to kind of go along with that, so that basically would imply that I think even though they're saying 6-month windows, that I think what you're going to end up seeing is like 1-year cycles essentially, because the talk is because Daredevil's shooting now that Daredevil's season 2 is gonna come out in April of next year, and then after that, my suspicion will be Luke Cage, and then unless Jessica Jones does really well, it'll probably be Daredevil season 3 in April again, and then my guess is you would probably see Iron Fist after that. It's my guesstimate to kind of make you a little happy, Dan, because the news that we have about Iron Fist is there is no news, because they tried to IGN tried to get it out of him, and they're like, yeah, so we don't have a showrunner to announce, and we don't have an actor for Iron Fist, and then he made a hint, so I suspect that they have something, because he had to make a hint that we're having to follow the Marvel way for announcements. Does that excite you a little bit more, Dan, or no?
You know, I saw the title of the thing, and it's like, oh, cast for an Iron Fist, and I'm like, sweet, and I click on it, and it's like, yeah, we don't know. It's like, thank you for an article full of filler. And then I clicked on the bottom, and I saw the dude who's playing Luke Cage for the next, the AKA series, and I was like, that's cool then. But not really. I just want to be assured that they're not going to screw it up.
Yeah, I don't think we can make that.
Want weak ass Iron Fist like we get weak ass Punisher. Yeah, he needs to show up, kick some dudes in the face, catch himself on fire, wrestle a dragon, knock a dude off a building. You could do that like the first episode, and I'd be happy.
Remember, Iron Fist guys. If you want to make Dan happy, you can't have any emotional content whatsoever. You can't be sad for any reason at all, and it can't be broody at all. So he's just got to kick people in the face, be happy about it, and that's it.
Why would Danny Rand be broody? Okay, he comes back from Kunlun. He's a multi-millionaire. He's got this giant company, and he fucking kicks ass. I mean, like, look, I can get my hands catch on fire and then punch you in the face with them.
That's awesome.
He's got, yeah, when I looked at the article, I expected to not know who Daredevil or who Iron Fist was because like they picked some random actor that I'd never heard of before. But I just don't know who Iron Fist is because he doesn't exist. Like that was kind of disappointing.
I like the brutal honesty. Mike?
I said my piece already, yeah.
Right.
Iron Fist is not going to be a character, he's going to be more of a concept throughout the...
I like it. Yeah, so I have a feeling that there is something, and we'll probably see it. My guess is maybe after Daredevil or right around that time next year. The other talk is in Season 2, there's talk of, well, the Punisher we already know is going to be in Daredevil Season 2. And there's talk of, I didn't really know too much about this character, of Gladiator. And I guess when I did some backstory on him, I guess traditionally he's a villain, but he also was in the TV series, for those who've watched it. He was Melvin Potter, the guy who made the suit for Daredevil. But what's interesting is supposedly he's traditionally a villain, but that to me does not make sense for Season 2. I don't think they need another villain. Though I guess at some point they said he was an anti-hero or a hero, I guess, depending on where you catch him in the arc, where he actually helped Daredevil fight the Hand. So what do you all think about that? Do you think that's more logical, that he's more likely going to be like an assistant or kind of help out, a sidekick, if you will? Or do you think he'll be a traditional villain? Dan?
He could be like the Punisher. He just shows up doing his own thing and gets curtailed into stuff. And hey, I'm the Gladiator, but we're on the same side for now. But not rubber bullets like Punisher and Spider-Man, because that's awful.
I like it. Mike?
Well, I mean, the character of him in this iteration, he's kind of special. So he was manipulated in the first season to be in a bad guy in a way, to be in like the suit supplier for Wilson Fisk, and then he switches sides at the end to make the Daredevil suit. So I can see him being manipulated again, probably, maybe being misguided, thinking he's doing the right thing. And then he and Daredevil are like, oh, nope, we should work together. That's the right thing to do. But yeah, like I can see it kind of going both ways, being up and down and good and bad.
Nice. Max?
Yeah, Mike, you just pretty much picked my brain on that one. That's exactly what I was going to say. But also, there's a little backstory there in the Daredevil show where he's like, oh, I'm trying to, they'll hurt whoever if I don't do this. You're not supposed to be here when Daredevil shows up. So she could still not be safe. They can still be threatening whoever that is, and he's kind of strong-armed into becoming Gladiator to fight Daredevil. It could be a few things. So he could go either way. It could be any point in his character arc or whatever you want to say. They can really fit it in anywhere. They left it open.
Yeah, absolutely. From the show, especially after I looked up the background of his character, that's why I think it'll be somewhere in the middle of maybe, like you said, misguided. Because it definitely did not seem like, after I read about his traditional backstory in the comics, I'm like, yeah, that wasn't the character they portrayed in the television series at all. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. Another thing that was interesting during this conversation is this Netflix CCO. I'm not sure what that stands for. Chief Operator? No, I don't know. Can't really make up a good acronym right now. But he basically said that spin-offs are absolutely on for all shows, and to include that any character from a show, so The Punisher, but for those of us that want a Punisher show, me included, or even a movie, was the other talk, he said. Which I'm not quite sure if he's just, speaking big, is a television critics thing, trying to, get people to read all the news and get excited and hyped for Marvel shows on Netflix, or what, but I thought that was interesting that he would actually mention that, all our characters could spin off into Marvel movies, because I could see Daredevil showing up in a movie, but I can't see him being in his own movie just because it would not fit at all with the universe unless they have some way to sell that separately. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of crazy. Just I remember the season of Daredevil, and that's not going to be PG-13. Not even close. Mike?
I mean, yeah, I think TV works well for Daredevil as a format. So I mean, if he could show up in one of the big, if he shows up in Infinity War for a little bit, maybe not even as part of the main action, but just showing the ramifications of what this big universal event is having on the rest of the Marvel universe. I could see that happening, definitely. I don't know. The heroes they're putting on Netflix, aside from maybe Iron Fist and Luke Cage, Punisher, Daredevil, Jessica Jones even, they seem a little too down to earth to be involved in the big, epic stuff. I know they are in the comics, but even then I'm kind of okay, I'm not really, that's stretching my believability of this a little bit, but nah, TV works fine for Daredevil. I don't think he needs his own feature at this point, but if you want to have him cross over into a movie for a little bit, I would be cool with that.
Cool. Dan?
See, but Daredevil had his own movie with Ben Affleck, and it was perfectly fine. I mean, I don't see... No. No, I mean, the show is awesome. I don't think it needs anything else. And, shit. I just looked it up. Chief Content Officer, I think, is what that stands for.
That makes sense.
But, yeah, I mean, if they want to make one, it's cool. Everybody else gets hit with weird sleeping powder because some weird villain guy has him fighting with the Gladiator. I don't know. I mean, the first season was cool enough that I'll just let them do whatever they feel like doing, honestly.
Nice. Oh, I like it, Dan. You've given full trust. Max?
I don't know about a Daredevil movie. I really like the TV show, and the TV show is of such quality that it's a low budget movie, except for 13 hours. So I'm down for that. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Daredevil doesn't need his own movie. It would be really cool, because if you're having a Captain America movie or even an Ant-Man movie or any of the guys who aren't wielding magical hammers, they're gonna need they're gonna need help. That's why like in the Cap movie, it's Captain America, Black Widow, and the Falcon. Because you need everybody on deck just to kind of make up for so you can still play around in this universe. But so to see Daredevil pop in and out, if they're in, because first and foremost he's a New York superhero. So if you're doing anything in New York, you can have Daredevil pop in, and it doesn't have to be super gritty like it always is, because he saves people too. Like, he doesn't just beat up pimps and gangsters. He also saves people sometimes. So it's like, yeah. So I can definitely see that, and if they want to have any of these people pop in and out from the TV shows and have cameos in there, I think that would be cool. That'd be really cool. And you could also use you could use these TV shows and stuff like that to kind of fill in the cracks. Like you can do the Spider-Man from here. You can do the the other things like that, and launch it from the TV show kind of, and have that fill in with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of smooth things over.
Interesting that you throw in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. into that. I guess they could.
I mean, it's the worst. It's the worst of it, and it's still watchable. It's better than Gotham for sure.
Oh yeah, that's without a doubt. But that's not really saying much that it's better than Gotham, man. It's like scraping the barrel.
No, it's not saying actually. It's like when you beat a fifth grader up, or like if you steal candy from a baby, I suppose would be the only other easier thing than being better than Gotham.
What if Daredevil goes to Gotham just to beat the shit out of everybody, and then he just comes back? You're not even in the same universe. He's like, I don't care.
That's what it. He inspires Bruce Wayne to be Batman. He kind of looks like a bat.
That dude that just came in a suit and beat the crap out of everybody? I want to be that dude.
He's got horns. He's got pointy things on his head like a bat. Sure, why not?
Oh man.
Oh, that's awesome.
I thought it would be cool if they did a Wildcat story where Wildcat was the major hero, and that's kind of where Bruce Wayne got his cues from, but they dropped the ball on that one too, so whatever.
Low expectations, Max.
But we've got more Butch now, so everything.
I keep on forgetting that we got more Butch. That might bring me back. I thought Butch was done.
Oh, you tried so hard to just throw all your might into that and make it believable, Max. I like the try.
Yeah, man. Go Butch. Team Butch.
More Butch for all of you Butch lovers out there.
Hashtag that. More Team Butch Gotham.
That's awesome. All right, so that's all I got for news this week. Now I'm going to switch over to video game news. Now this did upset somebody on our panel. Dan, King's Quest has been, as they say, reinvented basically, because it's not like the old ones, which was, it has the adventure style and the humor, but it also doesn't have the difficulty curve and the challenge. And as Dan said, 4 hours into the game that you didn't find a piece of cheese, it said game over. So this one, I don't know. I guess what the way, I didn't take a look too much at it, but it's going to be episodic. I think it's like a Telltale Games. I don't think it's made by Telltale. And it's going to be a little bit more of that adventure style and humor to try and introduce new people to it. But if you like the humor, if you don't care so much about the gameplay, if you like more the environment, I think it's going to be enjoyable. Would you say that's appropriate, Dan?
I suppose. But feel what I feel, gentle viewers. Okay? When you look onto the PlayStation Network and you see, what was it? The King's Quest Complete Collection. And you think, wow, that's all the old King Quests all rolled into one, and for some reason it's being put onto the PlayStation Network. And then you hit the play button for the trailer, and it just plays you this, like, you know, point and click thing. And it's like, that's not old King Quest. And that's where I was. I wanted the complete old collection, and instead you just get another pointy click. That's all.
a single solitary tear trails down Dan's cheek as he stands by the side of the road with his PlayStation.
With somebody like dumping an ashtray of like old King's Quest games on the side of the road.
I love the visual there. And then as well, coming out this week is a game called Lost Dimension. It's a Vita PS3 game. It's a tactical RPG where one member of your team is a traitor. And if you do not guess who the traitor is before the end of the game, you lose. And if you guess wrong, I guess you also lose. They didn't really go into that because that's probably gets a little bit more into the gameplay. And I thought that was an interesting mechanic. I mean, I don't know if really I've heard of anything quite like that. It sounds interesting, but I don't know if necessarily it would make me go buy a Vita or a PS3. But other than that, I don't know. Dan? Oh, Mike, go ahead.
Don't co-ops just ultimately end with people dicking each other over anyways? So, I mean...
Yeah, I guess that's true. you now have AI dicking you over instead of just your friend. Well, that's what multiplayer games are good for, right, Dan?
Oh yeah. I love dropping shit onto people and like the Helldivers games. It's like that's better than swap.
Especially when that shit kills you instantly.
Good fun.
All right, so that's all the video game news I have for the week. Max, any comic book news?
I don't have any comic book news this week, but I do have something I'm super excited for. The new Bruce Timm written, directed Justice League animated film is out, and it's called Justice League Gods and Monsters, and by all accounts, it is awesome. Now, some people I've heard have downloaded this early off the internet. Now, I'm not one of them, but I've heard that people have been doing this, and those people have been saying that this movie is freaking awesome. So go get it on Blu-ray or DVD or legal iTunes download or whatever you do legally to watch it, because we would never do anything like pirate movies or anything like that. We do everything the right way. And go see it. Throw some money at Bruce Timm because it's always awesome. Obviously, if you liked the Batman cartoon from back in the day, Justice League, Batman Beyond, Justice League Unlimited, pretty much anything good DC animated, go ahead and give this one a watch.
Nice. I'll definitely have to check that out. I definitely love DC animated movies generally.
And this is totally different because this is 100% different than. It's like an Elseworlds kind of thing. It's not your typical Justice League. It's really cool.
But so I think that's it for the cast. Does anyone have anything else? Any topics? Nope. All right. So please comment and like us on our YouTube channel. Also check out Mike McG at Mike McG TV, as you see him on screen now. As well, we recently joined Stitcher about 2 weeks ago. We're 3 Geeks podcast there. Please check us out. As well, iTunes. And if there's anything you want to hear, just send us in. You can either send us an email at 3geekspodcast@gmail.com. You can comment on our YouTube page. We read them. As well as you can rate or review us on Stitcher or iTunes, and we'll definitely get back to you. Hey, Max. So how do you like that video games?
I'm going to tell you, I've been playing some video games lately, and it's awesome. And what's even more awesome is getting all my video game accessories at GoGameIsland.com, because I don't have to leave my room or put on pants or do any of the things that annoy you, when you're buying video games. I guess you can download games online now. Video game accessories. Video game accessories is what I'm talking about. You can't download video game accessories. Or plushies or anything. So go GameIsland.com, or you can go to the Game Island at Polaris Fashion Mall, Columbus, Ohio. Do it up. That's all I got.
Butch shops there, so you should too.
Butch loves the Game Island.
So there you go. If you want to see Butch, go visit Max at Game Island.
Yeah, I heard Butch loves it. I mean, we can't actually say that Butch loves it. But I mean, I heard from a friend that said he had a cousin who's best friend's boyfriend's dog walker.
Yeah, that
knows Butch.
Yeah.
Like branded him there one day, and he really likes it.
And just because he was tied down, and just because I told him that he wasn't allowed to leave until he said that he loves the game Island, doesn't mean that he doesn't love the game Island.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, check out GoGameIsland.com. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Geek News out.